right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are live. Finally, Two and a Half Firemen. God, when was the last episode? I don't even know what episode we are on right now. I think we're on episode 26, I think. So it's been a hootin' of a good time. I don't have a thing, so I don't even know if anybody's watching right now. So if you guys are talking to me, I'm sorry. I don't have my stuff up, but we'll get there. Okay, I think we're good there. We need to mute myself. There we go. All right. So, episode 26. It's been a while. Don't really have a clue of what what we're going to be talking about. So hopefully everything goes off pretty well. Last week we talked about some crazy times of me breaking my car, but that's now fixed and everything's good to go. So let's go get the other two involved. So one moment, we'll get right into it. Later, guys.
Firemen.
Coming to you drunk again.
So drunk.
Tell their stories of their life.
There's so many stories.
2 and 1 firemen.
Firemen.
Coming to you drunk again.
So drunk.
Tell their stories of their life.
There's so many stories.
Jared, and your
Ladies and
exciting
gentlemen,
adventure.
we are back. Two and a Half Firemen. We have Jerry Thomas and Casper right there.
Yo,
Yeah, we're on episode 26, guys. And like I told everybody in the intro, did not know what the hell we were talking about, but when I came out of there, you guys already picked the subject. So,
the one that we never got a chance to talk about,
which is what?
the Murtaugh list.
Okay, hold on. Time out. What is Murtaugh list?
You need to watch more movies. Lethal Weapon, Officer Murtaugh, played
Who's,
by Danny Glover,
who's that?
the guy that says, "I'll get to
Now let it go. If you try to tell him deets on Lonesome Dove and he shorts out on that one, I'm going to lose my mind and flip the stable over. Don't do it.
90% of me thinks he's fucking with us.
Is that
Yeah. I feel
Braveheart?
like he's a super villain. He's a Braveheart. Oh my God.
Would you just?
Now I
would you
know.
not?
No, I know. he's
No?
doing it.
Would you
On
not?
purpose.
Can you not?
Maybe.
Just,
All right. So the never doing that again list.
Okay. So, what does that all entail?
Things that we will never do again, ever.
things that you do once just for. I don't know. I don't know if this is the right topic because my entire existence has been geared on how much can I take and how much can I do, and then never do that again. And that's
Well,
been
you're-
from the time I was about 8 until now.
Well,
So
your
30
route
years.
from the East Coast all the way back to Arizona was
Well,
your.
yeah.
I'm never doing that again.
Never doing that again. No.
So tell us about
Yeah.
the tale, the
How-
Chronicles of Red Bear.
How was that ride?
Did it
Well,
start off smooth?
I thought we ought to. No, it didn't. We probably ought to agree on a topic before we just carry on into some craziness.
Well, you said you're never going to do it again, so I'm guessing
No.
that definitely fits the topic of the day of stuff we would never do again.
You're getting too
Okay.
old for that shit.
Therefore, this
I'll
story
never say
fits. So what did you do? We kind of talked about it last episode of what you're doing. What did you do?
Okay, so I flew out to Georgia, landed in Atlanta, got picked up by Jamie's mom, went back, and there was a 26-foot U-Haul on premises, and it was already loaded. We just had to stop there, and then evidently we had to stop by her mom's place, which is Jamie's grandma, and grab a couple other accoutrements. Got to stop and visit for just a little bit and love her to death. And so got to see her, and then we were going through the garage while she was just upending anything into the truck that she thought might be helpful. And it was like,
There was no packing strategy.
well, the packing strategy had already been done. So what little bit of space was left in the truck, everything had already been jammed into the overhead and into the box all the way back 26 feet to, there was like on one section on the side, you got about this much space that's loaded up with just the, and there's like this little like square foot 10 worth of caveat that goes straight up like a damn Jenga block. Let's see how much we can cram in there.
Just shove it
And I
right up
landed.
there.
You just had to break through that barrier.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just that one, this empty gap tunnel. Like if you were gonna, Jenga or Save the King or Tetris or anything, there was like this one gap. Let's hammer that in, and I'm like, okay. So we get there.
Statue of an Indian.
That's my kind of packing. I love it. All right.
It was floor to
phrasing.
ceiling. It was floor to ceiling on everything except that last little bit of gap, and then we're sitting there in the driveway of Jamie's grandma's place, and both mom and grandma are kind of butting heads, but they're saying, let's load what we got here, and so now we've got bizarre tools and some awesome skill stuff that had already been done from like 2 generations ago, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I just arrived. I'm supposed to take the U-Haul, and I'm supposed to get it from here to there. And now, in this little increment of space, we're going to play some weird Tetris, like reverse Tetris. We're not, stacking it so it'll cancel out. We're stackling it so it'll add in. Stackling is a new term. You're welcome.
Stackling. I like it.
Stackling.
So we're hucking it, and I love Grandma to death, but her driveway goes like, this is cute. Oh my God. So I'm doing leg day. This is great. This is awesome. This is fun. Loading this in a truck. And finally I was like, everything they were suggesting, I was as polite as I possibly could. I was like, yeah, like gently as I could. No, ma'am. No. We're about wrapped up on space. Okay. So then I'm sitting and I'm visiting and then we're talking and doing all the rest of this. And then I finally get out of there and it was probably around 7 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've flown most of the day, 3-hour layover in Dallas. Now I've got the U-Haul. Now the U-Haul's definitely loaded. If it wasn't before, it's to the gills now.
It's overloaded.
Here we go, and kick off. And as soon as I pulled away from her driveway and around the corner and hit one of the semi-main streets in rural Georgia, so the lanes are like this big, and I've got a truck this big. Oh boy. And I start hauling ass. And of course, because it wouldn't be me if it was not utter anarchy, it starts coming down pitchforks and babies, man. It went past cats and dogs. It was just, oh, what the problem.
So basically, a B-19 roof turret was just blasted on your windshield.
Yeah, it was like a whole-on bombing circa World War II. And I make it through that, but I'm sitting there talking to Jamie because, I called her and said, hey, okay, I'm on the road. This is, this is our start time. This is right around the time I messaged you guys and was like, hey, this is when I'm starting. And I called her and I'm trying to talk to her and I can't hear her or talk to her through
the noise,
all the drench that's coming through.
Jesus.
So I was like, look, I'm on rural country roads in Georgia, where they seem to think 17 inches of lane needs to make a difference, and there's no shoulder, so you're either going to drop off into a borrow ditch and flip this truck, or you need to crowd the line.
That's
I've done that.
Casper.
Oh boy.
We call that Caspering.
Yep. So here I am just trucking along, and I'm trying to talk to her. And eventually, when it started coming down enough to where I had the windshield wipers as far back and forth as I could go,
So they were going full Izzy and Will.
Yep. And I could not still see it. I was like, I'm going to have to call you back. So then about the time I hit the highway thinking this is a grand old emergency and this is going to be fun getting out of the state, about the time I just, finally managed to barely just and find the off-ramp to the highway, find it, yay, thank God, yay, and I made it about probably all of 400 feet, and then the rain just stopped. And I was like, okay. So we start moving. All right, so to fast forward,
That's awesome.
we blast through Georgia, we blast through Tennessee, we blast through, several other states. By the time I made Texas,
was it just you in the U-Haul?
it was just me. And it was the sound of wind, just, hey, I love this song, doo-da, doo-da. I'm going to take a bullet in. Oh, yeah, it's a problem.
So you hit Texas.
So by the time I hit Texas, I was bogged out and done. See, I'd been flying all day, and then I was driving all night. By the time I hit Texas and made it into Texas, I'd already hammered so many monsters it wasn't even funny, and so many other energy drinks it wasn't even funny. And I'd been very surreptitiously doing snacks and everything else, and I was just like, okay, so bare minimum food, a whole lot of caffeine via energy drink. So every time I would stop to fill the tank, I would empty my tank. But this is a 50-gallon tank. It was a problem. So there were Gatorade bottles that got accosted and probably needed a police chart and a whistle. And it got to the point
You
where
boozing back there? No, officer.
it was,
Pull over. Hard again.
yes, please. If you're going to pull me over, can I take a 40-hour nap?
You sipping on that Grandpappy's craft medicine back there?
So it got to the point where what I was pouring in was coming out the same color, and it was like, this is the problem. So by the time I hit Texas, I was just doing bottled water, and so all the caffeine started to wear off, and I was like, oh, dear God. Like, all right, so I was just around middle Texas, and I started fading so bad that it was like, okay, and I think it was probably about 32 hours into it on a straight run, and I was like, oh, my God. So I pulled off, and, old Idaho tricks, you find a truck stop, and I did. And I was filling the tank, and then I moseyed on in there, and I was like, oh, they don't sell ephedrine anymore, but what else do they have? And I started hunting around.
Cocaine.
And they have, it's still what amounts to trucker speed, but it's legal. And they sell them in packs of 4, and on the back it says, don't take more than 3. And I was like, you have my attention. So now I've got bottles of water with,
Speed.
big necks. Because we're no longer doing like a dropper mentality. We're doing as much water as I can get, I start driving again, and about every time I started just kind of fading off, I would just hammer just one more of those, and all of a sudden, within about 20 minutes, I'd be like, well, hey, and I would keep going. So by the time I hit New Mexico, and I was New Mexico West and almost home, within about 4 hours, I was driving through New Mexico. I was watching the sunset. I was like, this is great. And I'm in a U-Haul cab.
Sunrise.
And my feet are over this way. And I'm leaned over across the cab this way with my hand on my fist like this, steering like this, watching the sunset like, this is fun. I'm wide awake and alert, but it's all a straight run and flat lands. This is great. And still managed to crunch it in. Started jumping into mountain country by the time I hit Arizona, and then it was fun because then you went way gradually. And as I was racing down into the booming metropolis of Apache Junction, it goes from way up gradually to, oh dear God, switchbacks. So now...
Did you burn your brakes like Casper?
No, but I was... I was tapping them, and believe it or not, on a 26-foot U-Haul, there were undershifts that you could do third, second, first. And I'm doing this, but the problem is this is Arizona country, so you're doing canyon walls that have rocks that are leaning this way. On the highway, you're driving this way. So I'm riding the line, watching traffic, dear God, so the boulders don't smack the side of this, because I'm already about 34 hours into this, like, oh my God, and it's pitch black at night. Get. I'm just watching mirrors, glance. And then finally comes screaming out into the open and was like, thank you, Jesus. So I pulled that gigantic U-Haul into my front yard and went, and we're done here. I come crawling out of that cab.
You didn't unload it? Come on.
Boy,
He is going to reach through his phone and choke you.
we waited until the next day to unload it. All right, calm down. It was actually 2 days. Yeah. So I
Our
have
items
folded
weren't
joints I
going
didn't
anywhere
remember
at that
that I
point.
had.
That's
So she had
awesome.
a storage unit on wheels.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was cheaper
Essentially.
than doing pods and all the rest of it, but as a favor to Ken Polk and everything, it was a very, very interesting drive, especially doing it alone in U-Haul. I think probably the biggest problem that I had, because both of you know, and anybody watching this knows just how exactly retarded I am. It's pretty much solid bone ear to ear.
Mhm.
We have a 26-foot U-Haul. So some of that cab is ensconced by the 26-foot U-Haul. So when you step out of the truck, there is a step, and ground. Well, if you go to the first step and try to stand up, your head smacks the overhang.
See, I never had a problem with that because I was too short.
Oh, fuck off.
Meanwhile, Red Bear and I
Not
are
only,
average
not only,
people.
I was about to say, not too short. It took me about 14 times to figure that out, both getting out and coming back in. From daylight to dark. Get out. Fuck. Get in. I got this. Fuck. Son of a. And not gentle. No, because you've seen my legs. They're not subtle. So when there's up or down power, I would brain myself on the top of this train.
So, is there a dent?
It's
Not
not
in
in
your
my
head.
head.
No, in the truck.
I'll tell you this: we turned it into U-Haul, and the tiny little girl that I was growling at didn't look that hard. So there's probably a dent, but she wasn't looking to see it. She just wanted to get the moderately sized,
The crazy man out.
overweight, angry man out of her office.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm going to be moving.
Probably
You,
the
you
phone
wanna
was like,
you
"Take it
wanna drive?
Never doing that again.
Added to the Mercon list.
Oh God. This list is so long for us that
Oh, it can definitely be so long.
it could be. Like the whole driving from Missouri to New Mexico in one day was an awful idea.
Never doing that again.
Awful
Got an
idea.
awful idea.
Now, I'm just wondering how your heart didn't explode with all the monsters and the speed pills that you took.
Can I take this one? What's
Okay.
happening? What's happening?
Okay,
Carry
you
on,
I
missed.
sir.
think I know why.
He's actually dead.
And what?
He's actually
I'm
dead.
Bruce
inside.
Willis. I've been dead since the beginning of the movie. It's great.
The reason why his
Braveheart.
heart did not explode is because I have seen, and him and I have both have done, a carafe of coffee each in just one morning, and then continue to drink more coffee. So he's already been attuned.
Mm.
I had black pepper in mine, though. You're a sissy.
Okay, so another thing that I'm going to
Whatever.
add to the list is don't drink Jared's coffee. Jerry's
Cowboy
coffee.
coffee.
Ever.
You know, this motherfucker called me at work. He's like, hey, you busy? I'm like, I'm at work. He's like, oh, never mind. I'm like, I already answered the phone. You might as well tell me what you got.
The hell's on your mind?
He made her drink cowboy coffee.
Oh, he called me with this one too right before I was going to the beach.
And I'm like, I am sorry. That's all I can say. I am sorry because I know how horrible that is.
And you both apologize just because I made her drink cowboy coffee.
The worst coffee ever.
The worst coffee ever.
Like, Starbucks is just a little bit better than your shit.
Starbucks is a little bit better than my shit.
It's not by much, but it's there.
I disagree. I think Starbucks doesn't measure up. One, it doesn't have the caffeine. Two, if it doesn't put hair on your nipples, by God, you're just not playing right.
What?
I don't know about the caffeine problem. The problem is keeping it down. That's the hard part. Mm-hmm.
What you need is a background in deeply, darkly pornographic and no gag reflex, and then you're fine.
No, we went over this a couple episodes ago where I tried to eat a chocolate dick and that didn't work. That's another thing that I will never do again. I will not eat a chocolate dick on stream ever again because I almost broke a tooth.
You didn't relax your throat, and you had to cut the balls as it went in.
It wasn't cream filled either. They ruined it.
Okay, you know what? Next time we.
How do you make such a
So,
thing
hold on.
and not make it cream filled? Come on.
No.
We need to go into our own treats.
I'm going to take this one for just a hot second because I don't know if my brain where Ghost is probably going, but I got to know. Does that mean we send him one with our additives that allow a cream filling with a squeeze bladder on the back end?
If the chocolate is better than the bullshit that they gave me, I'll try it.
All right, so we're gonna go full Van Wilder.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
To where he goes,
So wait,
look,
the
so
big game
good.
you try.
I've heard this before.
Is it kind of like a Cherry Garcia
What?
or a Cadbury egg?
What the fuck? How to make a red man blush?
There has to be a vanilla dick.
No, points for him just missing the reference at all. Vanilla dick, he'd never even feel it past his front teeth. I know I have one. It's a problem. All right, so, Will,
Yeah.
what is an actual legit story for never do it again
Never do it again.
that you haven't told before? Does it involve shaving your beard or is a bet?
I already told that story before. The Robitussin. I will never drink that again.
Oh, robo tripping.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm trying to think. I think I've told a lot of my stories that I will never fucking do again. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I know there's plenty.
Give it a ponder. Ghost, you're twitching. You got one.
I will never drink St. Pauli Girl ever again.
St. Pauli Girl?
Is that a beer?
The beer, St.
The
Pauli.
non-alcoholic beer?
No, it's alcoholic.
No, that's
You're thinking
O'Doul's.
O'Doul's. St. Pauli Girl definitely has alcohol in it.
I was thinking Iraq, and was that O'Doul's?
Mm-hmm.
My bad. Carry on, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so St. Pauli Girl actually has decent alcohol content. I think like 5 or 6. Station in England, getting off work one morning, and one of our buddies walks up, and he's just like, I don't think this is right because, like, as he's walking up to the third floor balcony, he's holding a case, and he goes, he's looking at the receipt, and he goes, I don't think this is right, but this could be right, but I'm not sure. I paid $7 for this full case of beer. That's like 50 cents a beer. And I'm like, okay, load up in my car. Let's go to the BX.
Bring the truck.
So the 5 of us go, because all 5 of us just got off work that morning. And then, sure enough, we go into the beer cave. We look at it, and it says, sale, St. Pauli Girl, $7 per case. And we're like, I want 2 cases in everyone's hands right now. Let's go. So we we were holding, the 5 of us were holding 2 cases each, walking up, and the lady at the register gave us this weird ass look because, mind you, this is at 8 a.m. in the morning. She's just like, "What the fuck are you doing with all this at 8 a.m. in the morning?" And we just look at her stone faced. "We just got off work. We want to drink. Don't you drink when you get off work?"
This is our Friday
Carry on.
night. Don't judge.
Yeah. So she's like, carry on. So we started drinking. Get back to the dorms by 8:30. And we had the balcony style dorm, so it had that walkway balcony. So me and my sweet mate, or piss mate, whatever you want to call it, from my door to his door, we had all the beer lined up. We didn't have to put it in the fridge because it was already cold enough outside. So we literally just sat it right there. People would walk by and be like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "It's Beer Palooza." Or whatever, like, we're doing the case races, basically. Night goes on. Somehow, I don't understand where it came from, but someone brought a table into one of our rooms, and we started doing beer pong with St. Pauli Girl. I still don't remember how we got a table into one of these rooms, because the table was it was a ping pong table that was in the first floor day room, and we were on the 3rd floor, and there were no elevators.
I'm guessing you heard the word pivot a lot.
I had blacked out and regained consciousness so many times. But yes, I'm pretty sure someone screamed pivot quite a few times. Anyways, night goes on, drinking, partying. Night goes on, drinking, partying. We all wake up and look at each other at like 11 or 12, and we're like, "This beer is disgusting. Nope. Never." We drank the taste out of our system. We're never drinking St. Pauli Girl ever again. Just, no.
Checks out.
So,
Mhm.
did I tell you guys the story about the apple cider vinegar?
No.
As the diet?
No. Okay, so in Germany, I was a young airman, and they have this soda called apple soda. Great stuff. Love the stuff, right? So Tracy and I were in, oh God, what city were we in? We were I think it was Bitburg, okay? And we were walking around Bitburg, and it was hot as hell, right? So we were tired, thirsty, so we went into this grocery store. Now, granted, everything's in fucking German, right? So
Naturally, because
We're-
pretty.
We're-
Uns egg rolls.
we're walking around trying to find drinks, and we go to the checkout lane, right? And there's drinks there. Or actually, no, she grabbed something. I couldn't find my apple soda, so I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna have what she has, just share her stuff. And then we get over to the checkout lane, and I noticed a bottle that had an apple on it. I bought it, thinking it's apple soda. Now,
In
this is the one thing that I will never do again. I always smell the shit that I eat and drink before I put it in my mouth.
Where's the
Oh,
fun
So
of that?
prior to this, we never did.
Yes, prior to, no, I would just fucking open it up and just took a big swig. Fuck that. No. I spit that shit out like it was bad. Tracy tried to stop me because she could smell it. Like it was that potent that she could smell it. Now, every time that I smell vinegar, I have PTSD. I'm like, flashbacks. And I shit you not. You can ask Tracy. if she opens up vinegar, I run away. I cannot stand the smell of vinegar anymore because I just about died that day. It was so bad. Gross. So, anything new, I will smell it before I taste it. There's no trust anymore. It lost its privilege.
Go to my world where you can't smell it, so you either have to visually assess
Taste it.
or taste bud assess.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. I'd be
It
like,
must be
here,
bad with milk.
you taste this first.
I'm phenomenal with milk. I learned to look, stir, and stare at consistency.
Even now,
Then I'll
okay.
still taste it. Trust me.
So I do the sniff test for milk, right? But if you notice, like there's shit on the ring or something like that, or like the
Yeah, the rim.
rim, right? And that's what usually smells. So when you
So
pour
we're
it,
talking about white stuff on the rim,
yes,
right?
white stuff on the rim, right? And
Carry on. Let's see what
and-
happens.
if you pour it and it looks
And
chunky,
So
that's a no
do
bueno.
you drink on there? Do you put your mouth on the rim?
Yes. Another thing I smell is eggs. The reason being is my parents have chickens. So they store eggs. Now, how old are these eggs? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. They have shit downstairs that are from like 20,000 or 2012, something like that. I'm like, no, I'm good. They always say expiration date is what the government wants. I'm like, no, expiration date means it could go bad. Could.
In fact, it's probably likely to go bad.
Like some of the stuff that I've had down there was the Nesquik, right? You think Nesquik doesn't go bad? Oh, the fuck it does.
Powder?
Yes, powdered chocolate does. Yes,
Any chocolate, when it turns colors, if
that
it's not the
too.
color it's supposed to be,
Don't eat it. Even though
Was it green?
says dark chocolate and it's actually white now, it's not good. It did
if
not
you-
do
if
the
you-
Michael Jackson turnaround.
I was going to say, if you had left it alone for about 6 more weeks, it would have said Michael Jackson chocolate. And still, no.
No, when you open it up, it would have gone.
Hershey.
For
Anyways,
those of us of a scientific bent, you would have said, did he?
yeah, but no, the Nesquik, you pour it into the milk and you stir it, and it's still fucking like powdered nuggets just floating around. It doesn't turn chocolate at all. It just
It doesn't
powdered
even break
nuggets.
up anymore.
No, it's
So
just
basically, that's
bad.
how boba was invented. I got it. I'm
Yes.
with you.
yeah. So don't drink boba. But no, eggs. If you open up an egg that's rotten, bad, awful. And okay, so let's say you're trying to make a cake or something like that, and you open it up in the batter and whatnot, and you open up a rotten egg. Say goodbye to the fucking batter. It's done. It's done. So
Correct.
we learned trust but verify. Military taught me that. Trust but verify.
It
It
seems
is a
like
very
he.
important lesson.
It seems like he learned a lot more from the military than I ever did.
Yes, I learned a lot of stuff. Trust but verify. Shut up and color. Yeah. Those are the two main things.
Deny. No, that one.
Act like a fly on a wall. Don't volunteer for shit.
Volunteer for shit. Yeah.
Hurry
Well,
up and
so-
wait.
If you turn the
Running
other
start
way,
before you hit
you
the
have
brick wall.
deniability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
And if someone walks by, just take your hand and just do this on a wall. You don't have a right. That's fine. I'm cleaning.
Unless
When-
it's carpeted wall. then
When-
no.
when in doubt,
Then you need
salute.
a vacuum cleaner.
When in doubt, salute. Absolutely not. No.
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 Especially for the Navy rinks that you don't know what the fuck they are.
This is.
You're like,
I'll tell you this.
Is that an officer? I don't know if that's an officer. Fuck it.
I'll tell you this, and I've gotten into a lot of trouble over this over the years, and it still continues to happen. But whether they're military, if they're wearing a hat, God bless them, because I don't have to make eye contact and my eyes go. But so help me God, even in my military career, first object was to go down for rank in lapels or shoulders, like so. Scan. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I still do that with civilians today.
Nick
I'll look at them
Curtis.
and just
Thank you
scan,
for-
wider scan, and then every one of my eyes are up here.
Well,
I don't
I'm-
care about your goddamn chesticles. It's a habit.
I'm trying to
give a
look for rank.
Tell you what, have you ever served in the military? Well, no. Then wear a hat that says fucking civilian. And I'll never have to look at any of the rest of your body parts ever again. From eyebrows up, leave me the fuck alone. Just label it.
Now,
I'm not scanning you for fucking sexual nothing. I'm scanning you for rank, looking for a salute or a parade dress or a pension. It's that simple. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not a sexual predator. I don't give two shits what you think about me, and I'm not going to buy you a drink. But if you think I'm scanning you, I'll tell you what. Here's an idea. Don't wear cleavage plunging shit. I'm not looking at it, but most men are.
Is
And
your
if they're
rank
looking
in
down,
there?
Yeah. Is the answer in there? How
No.
big's your fuck gotta be before I see Senior Master Sergeant? Shut the fuck up. Put your
Lieutenant.
rank on your hat. Leave me alone. I'm in the civilian world now, and I cannot adapt.
God, some of the
You
shit
got
that,
hate in your heart. Let it out.
some of the shit
Carry a
that,
sign like you're protesting. Chief Master Airman. Oh, just get out of my sight.
fucking civilians.
Oh, fuck.
I
Oh,
swear.
amazing.
I'm same way. But so is there anything else though that you do because the military fucking taught you? Because there's one thing that I do all the fuck time, and that is
I'm sure there's one thing.
scan your exits. Always know what's going on. Situational awareness. I get creeped out if there's an exit to my back or an entrance to my back. That's like anxiety is what Tracy calls it. But I'm like,
Paranoia.
no, that's just me. I have to know what's going on. And I will, if Tracy sits there, I'm like, nope, you're over there. I gotta see. And the whole time I'm eating, I am scanning, watching people, knowing what's going to happen. I don't know why I do that. It's probably
It's risk assessment. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a vigilance.
That's what it is. It's risk assessment. That's you're looking at, and you're not looking at risk assessment like this. It's not sprinkler, or there's, all right, who's coming in here and they're in robes. They seem a little bit too funky shaped, and I like that. You're waiting to see who's going to cause a goddamn scene. And so, yeah, this is kind of like the old Western books that were ever written. You know, you would, the cowboys of legend or heroes like Smoke Benson. You know, they'd step in and they would always step to the side, and they would scan the room before they ever took a spot at the bar. There's as in writing, as Hollywoodized as that is, there's still a merit to it. There's a kernel of truth in everything. And to this day, even when I step into any public place, with anybody that's there, Jamie now, I'll step in there and I'll sit down, but she already knows ahead of time. If I sit in and there's any doors behind me, her eyes had better be scanning as much as mine are. I'm not checking out waitresses or customers or anything else. I'm assessing weapons, body language, scanning.
Body language
So
is
it's a
definitely a thing that you.
And I've been reading that for years. But what I would say is this: if you're willing to put your back to an exit or an entrance, and willing to let people walk behind you, It's because you've spelled out to your partner ahead of time, this is what you need to be looking for. This is hands down. And look and go. And so if my eyes are moving, and more importantly, this is how you start out in a new relationship, I guess, the conversation for that. My eyes are not moving because I'm checking out other options. My eyes are not moving because I'm assessing, okay, that one's hot, this one's this, and measurements and blah, blah, blah. Track on movement. People that are coming in with guns, people that are coming in with bombs, they're not strolling. They're not casual. Doors get blown open. People come running in. Any movement, I'm going to key on. I still hear you directly across from me. The best thing that she's figured out how to do, we'll find a booth, and we'll go on the same side of the booth. Both of our backs are against the wall. While we're talking, don't have to look at her, though I do occasionally, and same for her. But she scans as much as I do. And there have been times, even when she's sitting across from me, that she won't just scan, go, scan. She'll lock in, and her facial structure changes, and I go, all right, here we go. And I turn and start looking. That is not...
Or the neck crack.
That is not an okay for me to just go off the handle. I'm not going to just grab the table, kick the wood off, use the tube, and fucking, turn somebody into the 40-year-old virgin. That's not how it works.
What?
Wait, sandbags?
No, not sandbags. Tape. Ripping.
Ah, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, what?
You can turn them into a panel lantern.
Mm-hmm. It's not a torture device. If she keys in on it, then I get to lock in on it. But she knows me well enough to understand that.
That's awesome. Like, I'd be afraid if I wasn't married to Tracy anymore and had to start the whole dating game.
No,
having to tell somebody that's my weakness is, I have to fucking...
Speaking of never do that again, yeah.
Yeah.
Do that dance.
Nope. Do you have that problem too, Casper? Of having to always scan?
Oh, yeah.
Never
Oh,
have
yeah, my eyes are always open.
Like...
I don't keep my eyes locked on one thing. I attributed it to my ADHD at first, but then the military really reinforced that watch for threats, scan for threats.
Right.
You're always looking. You're always up. You're looking. Okay. All right, cool. There's something over there I can use just in case if I run out of ammo. Okay. All right, I could use that over there as a weapon too. Okay, and you're just looking at everything and anything. You're like, okay, that guy's looking a little shifty. Keep your eyes on him, back at the girl. Keep your eyes on him, back at the girl. Back on him. You're just... So, I don't stop my eyes.
You think you could, go to your VA and be like, I have paranoia?
I'm actually trying to fight that for VA compensation. They denied it.
You probably could. If you worded it correctly.
Yeah. All you got to do is connect the dots to make it military related.
You had guys that I knew, and it's not like we were in the most combative force in the world. We were not. But here's the kicker. I saw one guy that got off on military retirement or medical retirement because he had recurring stones, gallstones.
Mm-hmm.
Boo fucking who? Get your gallbladder removed, get the stones removed, and stop with your dietary complex that keeps making those build up. One or the other, but carry the fuck on. Nope. He used that deliberately to get himself the fuck out. So, one, I don't trust the VA. Two, unless you've lost an appendage or you have obviously, problems with PTSD, I don't buy that shit either. Because I don't buy into half of the crap that comes with PTSD. I don't. Deal with it. Suck it up. Counseling if you need it, but carry the fuck on. Talk about it and then move on. That's the problem. Everybody wants to talk about it all the time. Don't. Talk.
The more you talk about it, the more you keep it on the table.
Talk and move. It's that simple.
Yeah. We grew up in that military generation of suck it up, move on, move forward.
The sad part is the onus that I live under is not the military generation that we grew up in, though I accord both of you the best respect and everybody that we served with, absolutely. But the level of service that was given to me before I ever signed up was my great grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and then me. And all the stories that came trickling down from all three generations. Oh, God, we're raising a bunch of pussies. And that was when I first signed up. Well, I gave 10 years, and I've been separated as long as I was in. And,
So when
I'm
these
starting
people,
to think it's every generation.
so
Problem.
when the new generation signs up, they should be given a straw, correct? So they
A
can
straw.
suck the fuck up.
No,
No,
I think they need to. I think they
Hello,
need to
because
actually
it's
be
too
to
soft.
fight shit and then really, just suck it up. Because when you get
see, I got crayons.
we promised this. You were going to leave the green ones out. I like those. They're delicious.
I actually got thrown crayons
To shut up in color.
to shut up in color. That was my
I thought-
initiation as an airman. Was
No, I thought we were eating them.
so now they should just
that's
throw
right.
straws and say "suck it up, Buttercup."
Yeah, you
No?
can't do that now. No.
I never got into
no.
that.
I
I don't know. Maybe I was like,
Well, we kind of went
it's okay.
way off topic, guys.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
But what do we have for time?
We got about 7
like
minutes.
10 minutes.
7,
Okay.
10 minutes.
So
So,
I'll do another
Do
Never
you-
Do Again
do you
story
want to do that, or do you want to do a bad people,
of bad people.
where we
You
have
get the bad people cards.
Oh,
that's upside down?
Sure. yep. God bless him. Yep.
All right. So, out of us three, most likely to rat me out if they were under pressure from the cops.
Oh, I'm going to crack.
Yeah, you
That'd be
are.
me. I'd end up cracking.
You are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd end up cracking accidentally.
Tell the cop to suck the back of my dick. Are you kidding?
I'd be right after Casper, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Casper would be like, "Wait, you guys got
Fuck that.
hot chocolate? Fuck it, I'm good."
Can you put that badge in your mouth? Go ahead, suck on it.
Yeah, Jared would never talk.
No. I've been tested. Please bring it.
All right, next one. I don't know if I want to say this out loud. Who would be the sweetest sexual partner? That's what it says. Sweetest sexual partner. I don't want to fucking know. Casper? You think Casper?
Yeah.
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 That's
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm just gonna
I'm-
hold you down and take control. It's fun, but I'm not sweet at all.
Sweetest Casper.
Yeah.
Butterfly says Casper too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, bad
And
people.
God
You ready?
bless him.
Most likely to date someone much older than them. I'm gonna go with Jerry because that's his generation. Is
Cougars, baby.
The-
Cougars.
the Elvis Presley, and that's his time
It's
frame.
me.
He was
It's
born.
me.
He was
Overly
born in the
bigger
wrong
pants.
time zone or time zone, not time zone.
Time zone.
Generation.
Uh-huh.
Era.
I need a drink for that.
Era.
Era. There we go. That's a big word.
You're welcome.
Wrong era. Yeah,
Three
three
letters.
Three letters.
Big word. Mhm.
And I'm the one going for my masters. All right.
Do you know how to spell era?
Yeah.
The roughly. You spell it
Oh,
the roughly.
Fuck you guys.
Air 5.
So about my master's program, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. This is another thing that
You promised you
I
would.
will never do again. So I
Can you
used
speak?
math, right? I looked at my grade. I had a 97.8% in my course going into my last week. I did the math of what was coming up. I have 2 papers and the comments. Each one is 100 points each. I did the math. If I don't do any of it, I could get a C. If I do just the comments, I would get a B. If I do the comments and 1 paper, I would end with an A. I'm like, all right, let's go for the A and be done with it. Skip one of the papers. Right? And yesterday, about, 9 o'clock or something like that, I'm like, you know what? Let me just make sure the syllabus, of late homework, whatnot. And I found out that if I failed to do 1 assignment and not turn it in, the teacher can fail me. Doesn't matter if I have a 90-some%, he can fail me out of the course. I'm like, oh, wow. Fuck. So that's what I get for trying to do math and try to get away with some bullshittery.
It wasn't doing the math. You were trying to cut corners and see if you not have to do some of the work.
Yeah, there was no math involved in that.
So,
well, yeah, percentage, sure, but
to do me, a solid, what I did was I said fuck it anyways, and I did the work. I did, somewhat decent work on the paper, and I did okay with the comments, so I should get at least an A. But the last paper, I said fuck it, and I started writing about something stupid like a video game.
Why would you do that?
I'm with you. Hold on. Writing papers, I may know something about. Was that an allowed topic?
Allowed topic. It really doesn't say what is allowed and what is not. So
even better.
So with the topic, it's just the leadership application, right? And it says to for your leadership application paper, pick 1 project, activity, or area in your workplace, a place that you volunteer, or an activity that you are involved in with such as sports team or club. So
please hold on. Did you write a paper on NCAA, Madden, or something like that?
No, even better. So
was it the wrestling one?
I play World of Warcraft. I am one of the guild leaders for my guild.
And there's your leadership topic.
That is my leadership topic.
I approve.
Oh,
hands down.
Jesus
I cannot wait to hear what my professor says about
how
this.
He grades it. I want to know how he
too.
grades it.
Oh my God. I so want to know what he says about this, because it is going to be awful. I won't lie. It's going to be awful.
I'll tell you what, for the amount of stress, for the amount of stress you have in your life right now, and you did write it and turn it in. If you think that is the first World of Warcraft paper he's ever seen under those parameters in his life, he's probably got to look at it and go,
what the fuck
God,
is this?
Not again.
No,
all right, let's just check fucking A.
No, I am putting, I would put at least $1,000 that this has never been a topic of this magnitude, because it is a 6 to 9 pages of bullshittery of why I am a recruiting officer for my guild.
Oh,
okay.
Wait,
okay.
hold on.
That specific, I would say, yeah, okay, you probably won the night. But I would say this: if he has never in his life had a paper cross his desk that had anything to do with World of Warcraft, I will flat out Venmo you $20. I'll do it.
This is also a Christian school.
I retract my statement.
Thank you.
I was gonna say.
Oh, boy.
I was gonna try and stop you.
I
but you said
cannot
keep going.
wait to hear.
Now I just want to know
Now,
how it
hold on.
plays out.
Still ask him. Hold on. Still ask him that question if this is the first World of Warcraft paper he's ever read or graded. Because if it isn't, I think Will pays Jared $20.
No,
I
retract
okay.
mine. So this is not a
No.
pay.
I will
No,
I will forward
I
you
just made up like
guys because he always writes stuff on my papers.
Then I want to know how it plays
Always.
out.
critiques and comments.
Always.
I gotta know. I
'cause
gotta know.
my last two
No.
papers have been 100%. 100. And you know my
I'm not-
English. You know my English.
Bad.
It's awful, right? So the one
Wait,
thing
hold on.
is
Hold on.
William,
Hold on.
excellent work on your paper. Good formatting and use of sources. Trust among leadership and the team is crucial for a product work environment. I'm like, I bullshitted.
So is-
I didn't really read, but I fucking got 100% on this.
I just
That
want to know how
is
this plays
so
out. I really
bad.
want to know.
If that is what our educational system is, oh my god, you can be an idiot and then be awarded a degree.
If that's what our system is, have you been paying attention to any of the schooling that your daughter's gone through?
Oh, it was a rhetorical question.
Oh, just
Or
check.
statement.
Okay.
Okay, hold
We're
on.
good.
No, I understand.
If you guys ever leave the fire department and try to get another job and you have a bachelor's degree anywhere, okay, it doesn't matter what bachelor degree you have, you can get a job that requires a bachelor's degree.
Correct.
The reason being is it is a requirement for these positions is basically to show that you are able to fucking learn. That is all these fucking companies really care for.
So the
So high school
bachelors and
diploma
borderline
for
even, they basically measure up to what used to be the high school diploma. And it
Yes,
just,
it creeps forward.
that's all it is.
And I
So high
think
school
it's kind of
diploma
sick,
really
to be
nothing.
honest,
Yes.
because people are paying thousands of dollars for these degrees, for this check mark.
Hundreds.
Or
of
hundreds
thousands of
of thousands of dollars for this check mark saying, hey, I have a bachelor's degree or I have a master's degree or something like that. It is just a check mark. And
dollars. Correct.
people that have been working for a company that only require an associate's degree get kicked out of positions like that they try to apply for because it requires a bachelor's degree. They get kicked
Absolutely.
out.
But you have,
for that.
at this point now, you have 19, 20, 21, and 22-year-olds that jump into it when they have those colloquial check marks, and they're leading 35, 40, and even 55 to 60-year-old team members who've been working there 20, 25 years, and they're supposed to answer to this pup.
Yep.
And they do because there's no college degree. And it's like, all right, but let's keep in mind on the job experience, 40 fuck years before you got here, 25 years before you were born.
Yep.
Doesn't mean dick.
That's why sergeant majors hate saluting lieutenants. One
Anytime
of
a
my
chief
friends
master
told me a
sergeant was saluting a second lieutenant, I was like, oh yeah, I can't do.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of one of my friends who I was stationed with in England? His older brother, was a Marine and watched. He was walking into the commissary at one of his bases. He watched a butter bar lieutenant come out. Sergeant Major was walking in to get his groceries and kept walking past the lieutenant. So the lieutenant got a little cocky and said, Sergeant Major, noticed you didn't pop off a salute for me. Why don't you go ahead and do that right now? Sergeant Major, deadpan, looks him right in the face and says, "When you've been in as long as I have, you can crawl up these fucking stripes and get your goddamn salute," and then walks away. Golf clap. Golf clap. Good job, Sergeant Major.
Damn.
That's
But
when no
Where we at
one,
on-
like,
where are we at on time?
it is 11:06, so we are, according to the stream, we're about an hour and 2 minutes into it. So it
we
is
do
up
one
to
more card and then we're done.
We can do one more card if you want. You guys want one more?
You were.
This one is a red card. Says most likely to fall in love with an inanimate, or no, not an inanimate object, an inmate. I'm sorry, I have been drinking. Most likely
An
to
inmate.
fall in love with an inmate.
Well, hold on.
Who's holding
As a
his
caveat,
pocket?
as we have a caveat, if all of us were single, unspoken for, blah blah
If
blah.
we're
right?
all
Yep, that's a given.
Single, yes. If we're all single,
Will,
me,
hands down.
yeah, probably.
yeah, I'd say you'd be the first one to grab a pocket.
You think
Just
so?
saying.
Yeah.
Conjugal visits,
I
don't
was-
have to write that often, can still do crafting, can still do any sort of casting, can still do any sort of video gaming. And all you got to do is roll up about once every 6-8 weeks. Yeah, Will.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, I'll take it. I'll take that.
Yep.
one. All right.
You will. You will.
Oh,
All right. Well, that concludes our show of Two and a Half Firemen. Jerry, Casper, thank you so much. I will talk to you guys here in a little bit. So, uno momento.
un momento.
All right, kids. That is episode 26. I know we got to a more serious topic at the end, but then we went into the cards to make it a little bit more fun. Thank you, Star Treasure, for letting me know that it was getting a little bit too serious. And yeah, episode 26 was a lot of fun. But what are we going to talk about episode 27? Do you guys like these cards? Do we want a whole show of these cards? Because I have, God knows, a whole bunch of these cards. Okay? So, it's been a lot of fun. You guys think about the topic, and we will talk to you guys here next 2 weeks. Later.
Two and one firemen
Firemen.
coming to you drunk again.
So drunk.
Tell their stories of their life.
There's so many stories.
Two and one firemen
Firemen.
coming to you drunk again.
So drunk.
Tell their stories of their life.
There's so many stories.